there are two types of suffering. When you look for certain suffering, when you push yourself with your reading, with your workouts, it's hard, but then the rewards are amazing.
Yeah.
If you don't do that kind of suffering, the bad suffering comes, which is overweight, which is depression, which would
you can't run with your kids.
If you don't do the good suffering, if you don't do things that are hard, the bad suffering will come when you are reacting in life, when you are depressed, when you are fat, when you have to go to the doctor, when you don't sleep, you need to take
scared of a fucking pandemic.
The pandemic, when you get scared, when you have fear. We are in this life to conquer ourselves. Right now, you watch the Olympics, right? I watch in television the Olympics. Have you watched Olympics? Yeah, I watch Olympics, but okay. So I tell them, but when I love about the Olympics, when they cross the finish line and they go in their knees and they start crying, and the guy in the mic comes and say, how do you feel? My God, this is the best moment of my life. And I tell people, do you think this is the best moment of your life because it has been easy or difficult?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because it's been fucking hard.
No, fucking hard. I mean, many fucking hard because they remember when they wake up in the morning, they work out their hard. But you know what? Happiness is when you cross that line and you conquer. You don't get out of a restaurant after picking out in pizza and go on your knees and they say, oh my God, this is the best moment of my life. No, you feel like a pig. It's okay. That has a part in my routine, some kind of pleasure. Treats, but 80% of your life, you have to do the things that are going to make you really happy at the end.
What's up, everyone? You are listening to Wake Up Naked. I am your host, Esmey Leon. We're going in deep into ourselves. We're going to be talking about ideas and concepts and things that have the potential to actually change our lives. So get excited, get ready, and what are you waiting for? Come over here and get naked with me.
Welcome to Wake Up Naked. My name is Esmey Leon, and I am here with the one and only Fernando Sartorius. He is a celebrity trainer from Spain, but he has been gracing the United States with his amazing presence and mindset. And I am honored to call you a friend.
You are right.
And
thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's so good to be here with you.
I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to be here with you one more time because we've been together in Spain. You remember, when we went to Adidas, and I think you and me, we are what I call kindred spirits.
Yeah.
The way we feel fitness, the way we feel the lifestyle, the way we feel working out, and what can I tell you?
Yeah, and actually, you and I have had a private conversation about that when we talked about going to the gym and working out, and actually, you don't even have to go to the gym, but just working out and moving our bodies, it's actually like heaven. Right? Is that what it means to you? Because I know people think, oh, I have to work out, I have to move. But we've talked about how it just takes us to a whole nother level.
Well, it's our tool. It's not for everyone. The way I try to word it is that you have to find the things in life that give you joy. What gives me joy is not what gives you joy. But for you and me, I know it's working out. For me, working out, it's a tool. It's a way where I get to live in the sacred, where I feel joy, where I feel amazing. It's not. I don't really do it for my body. I just do it because I like it.
Yeah. And I mean, I love so many things that you said, but one of the things that stuck out right now was like the reason of why you're doing it really does matter. And I think sometimes what I have seen, and I've been guilty of it myself, where I've had some type of body goal, but while I was training, even though it was very heavenly for me to train, I was very unhappy because I wasn't doing it for, oh my God, my body can do this and my body is strong.
Right.
And I wasn't honoring it in that way. I just was trying to be a certain number on the scale or look a certain way, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, there is a fact that we all have a body. Okay. I mean, my calling is I'm an athlete. Okay. Because I like to play sports. I like to play tennis. I like to play golf. I mean, that's it's my parents is in my DNA really.
Yeah.
But for some people, working out can mean 3 times a week because they want to be healthy and they don't want to get sick. So it has a different meaning for everybody.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to clarify because you said, working out, it's fun for me, it's great for me, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Do you really mean, like, for me, I feel like because, well, and you tell me if you agree or disagree, but in my perspective, movement isn't a choice. People think it's a choice. And I'm not saying that everybody, if you don't like weight training, I'm not saying you have to weight train. I love to weight train. And I feel like that's maybe what you were saying. But I think sometimes people think, oh, it's an option. But then I've trained with people that are 70 and strong and able. And I've trained people that are 70 that could barely get out of a seat. So I'm afraid that people think it is an option, but I think for our overall quality of life, it's not an option not to move.
Yeah, but many people don't move. I mean, 80% of the people in the world don't move. People don't like to work out. You think that people like to work out. People don't like to work out. That's why you're a trainer. I mean, I push people to do things that they are not able to do.
Yeah.
Because first I feel it. Since it's my passion, then I told you this a million times. I become a vehicle, and since I leave my message, when I tell people to do certain things, they really follow me because it shows my passion. It shows that I do it. But for most people, they're not self-motivated like you and me. I know how to suffer in the gym like you, okay? Nobody has to tell me how to suffer. I take the bike. I go to the mountain. Why? Because I'm addicted in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's my passion. Passion means suffering in Latin, okay?
Ooh,
yeah, passion is suffering.
I think I knew that and I forgot.
The passion of Christ means the suffering of Christ.
Wow.
Okay, in Latin, passion. So when you do something with passion, you suffer. But you are addicted to the afterglow, to the after, that lingering after you take a shower and you've done something difficult, you've pushed yourself, and that's very addictive.
Yeah. That's almost like, and I'm not going to say this is exactly the same, but part of like the Buddhist teaching that life is suffering.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But if you say it like that, it kind of feels like a negative connotation. But in a way, life is suffering, but there's reward in the suffering. So we have to choose our suffering.
Well, the way I say it is the following. There are two types of suffering. When you look for certain suffering, when you push yourself with your reading, with your workouts, it's hard, but then the rewards are amazing.
Yeah.
If you don't do that kind of suffering, the bad suffering comes, which is overweight, which is depression, if you
can't run with your kids.
If you don't do the good suffering, if you don't do things that are hard, the bad suffering will come when you are reacting in life, when you are depressed, when you are fat, when you have to go to the doctor, when you don't sleep, you need to take
scared
pills.
of a fucking pandemic.
The pandemic, when you get scared, when you have fear. We are in this life to conquer ourselves. Right now, you watch the Olympics, right? I watch in television the Olympics. Have you watched Olympics? Yeah, I watch Olympics, but okay. So I tell them, but when I love about the Olympics, when they cross the finish line and they go in their knees and they start crying, and the guy in the mic comes and say, how do you feel? My God, this is the best moment of my life. And I tell people, do you think this is the best moment of your life because it has been easy or difficult?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because it's been fucking hard.
No, fucking hard. I mean, many fucking hard because they remember when they wake up in the morning, they work out hard. But you know what? Happiness is when you cross that line and you conquer. You don't get out of a restaurant after picking out in pizza and go on your knees and they say, oh my God, this is the best moment of my life. No, you feel like a pig. It's okay. That has a part in my routine, some kind of pleasure, treats. But 80% of your life, you have to do the things that are going to make you really happy at the end.
At the end.
At the end.
I love that because I think I really resonated with that. So I think a lot of our listeners are going to resonate with that. And this is why I love you, because you say things that I've heard a lot, but you say it in your own unique Fernando way that just makes sense. Team, like we're all going to suffer in one way. So
right.
There's the good suffering or the bad suffering. So that's when you're like, okay, I'm going to go suffer at the gym, or I'm going to go suffer on my computer and be there for 5-6 hours, whatever it is, to get the work done, or suffer later that you're not making the money that you want to make, or suffer later that you're embarrassed to be in a bikini or embarrassed to be in photos. And all those little things are tiny pains that over a lifetime is just like a life full of pain, but it's not good pain.
There are athletes of the spirit, the saints, and what they do, they suffer in their own way. How? I mean, there is a common denominator in there. I love to read books of saints of religion because as an athlete, they do the same thing, but spiritual or mentally, and they go places that when they are fasting or they're denying pleasures and things, you go, my God, why do you go through all this hardship?
Yeah.
But inside, you know what they think? Yeah, but you don't feel what I feel after.
Yeah.
That kind of mystic, that kind of place that doing the hard things in life takes you. It's so beautiful because then you are in the company of greatness.
Yeah.
You are in the company of the people that have been great in life. You're unique. You don't need to go to the Olympics to feel how the Olympians feel.
Right.
Make your day cross the line. How? 4 things that are hard to do for you, that you're overcoming, that at the end of the night, when you go to bed, you say, yes, baby, I did it.
Okay, so I love that. Is that something that you do? Do you wake up every day and do you say, okay, what are 4 things that are really hard?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I push myself physically, okay, because I'm an athlete and people are admire that of me, but for me, it's a habit already.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not that hard.
I know.
Okay?
I get that a lot where people say...
People are proud, oh my God.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. But you say, no, I already conquered this. But I do have a hard time. I write, as you know, I write articles. And for me, writing is a pain in the ass, okay? And I have to do it really early in the morning. And I go to the empty page and start writing. And that's certain things that I do are hard. What I do very well, I think, and it's a habit, okay? I am already 60 years old, is that I have 6 rituals every day that put me in my highest self.
Okay.
6 things
spit
that I
them
do.
out.
Okay, spit them out. Wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Every single day.
Not most mornings. In automatic.
Which, by the way, I don't want to miss this, and I want to hear the rest of the 5. But I think that is the place where a lot of people can they can be defeated because they feel like it has to be 100% of the time. But what I realized, and when I started, I was in a very deep depression with bad habits in my 20s. And when I started getting out of it, was like, oh, there's no way it's ever going to be 100. But if I'm 90%, then that's good.
Huge.
Yeah. So when you say, listen, most of the time it's 6:30, every now and again it's not. But you give that space for there to be the days where it's not 6:30 all the time.
Yeah. I like in the morning my quiet time, and then I read my spiritual books.
Is that number 2?
No, that's number 1.
Okay.
It's the morning thing that you wake up in the morning and instead, most people have seen it. First thing they do is they go to the phone, they check their Instagrams or read the paper, or do things that
watch the news.
Watch the news. It's just, for me, it's just like, no way. I start my day with thinking. Where I invest my thinking in a very spiritual way. And when I mean in a very spiritual way, with eternal truths, with poems, memorizing, my writing. So I do that from 6:30 to 7:30. Then I have my breakfast.
Memorizing your writing?
I memorize poems.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I
okay.
memorize because, and it's funny because people know words of songs by memory. So what a waste of time. Why don't you memorize something that is beautiful? Like a poem, like a quote. Like a quote. Okay, I'm going to tell you a quote out of the bat. People see the glory, but not the effort behind the story. You see? So with my clients, because I memorize these quotes, sometimes it comes out of me, but I already memorized.
Yeah, it's like in you. It's in your bones.
People see the glory, but not the effort behind the story. So I memorize all these quotes, and then when when I let my mind wander, the quotes come, and it just motivates me. So I
love that. Yeah, and it's like I remember learning too, like you have to fill up with good and light so that when shit does hit the fan, because shit will hit the fan for all of us, whether we're injured or someone we love we're injured, someone we love passes away, anything, you lose your job. We have done the work when things are good, that when things are bad, that quote's going to come in your head because it's in your bones,
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, I love that. So that's your number 1. What's your number 2?
My two is my breakfast. So my breakfast, people always tell me, what do you eat? I already know what I'm going to eat in the day.
Do you eat the same thing?
Not like you say, most of the time. but I have my oatmeal, okay? And then on my oatmeal, I add peanut butter because I don't want to be, you know about nutrition. Peanut butter is good because it has some fat, so it keeps me satiated. You said in English,
Yeah, satiated.
Satiated for longer. My oatmeal with my with a banana or something, some fruit, and that's a habit that I have.
Okay. So wake up, fill yourself up with great words of light and wisdom and just goodness.
Yeah.
2, have a good
breakfast.
nutritious breakfast. What's number 3 for you?
A workout.
Okay.
Yeah, my workout.
Okay.
Then my workout, I have a million ways to work out. That's easy for me. I teach tennis. I play paddle. I do. I live in Santa Monica.
I know you're playing paddle today.
It's a playground.
We're doing it fast, team, because Fernando has places to be, people to see, workouts to conquer. I love it.
I love it.
Okay.
It gives me endorphins. It gives me certain endorphins after, and I work out, and then it's just funny because it's I feel so good.
Okay, so really quickly, I want to ask you, because I think not people are in between. So there are people that definitely don't like to work out, don't care about it. And then I think there's a lot of people that are like, okay, I know it's important. I want to do it. But not everybody has the freedom that you might have, right? Where it's like they might have to go to work or whatever. So for someone like that, what would you say for that third step? What's something they could do?
Okay, so for the third step, all I can tell you, so I agree. You don't imagine you only have 20 minutes to work out, okay? What I recommend, it's you have to do some kind of like body work, okay? And like you were saying, weights. So I say, I have 4 exercises that you can do, which is push-ups, set-ups, leg raises behind your chair. I mean, it's just people think I have to go to the gym. You don't have to go to the gym.
Right.
Just learn 4 exercises and start with maybe 15 minutes and do them every day.
Yeah. Even 10 minutes. Even 5.
Yeah, even 5. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, that's the key.
The habit.
It's a habit.
Okay. And then one of my sisters, I'm actually very proud of her. She kind of has that, she has 3 kids. 2 of them are twins. They're tiny. Like, I get it. Doesn't have the freedom you and I have.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can relate to my sister. But she started doing something where during her lunch break, she goes for a walk. And it's just kind of like that habit. And I was like, that is so perfect. You don't even have to change clothes. You don't have to make all these excuses. It's just during your lunch break. It's nice. You get out of the office, whatever,
Walking or I say all the time, think activity during the day. Go up the stairs. Walk 10 minutes. Get out of your chair for 5 minutes and go.
I know.
It's just little things.
It's like, I think people hear this and it's so cliche, but it's so true. And it's just like, my hope is that people actually can not only hear you, but that they take you up on that. Like that is a challenge that, you're yet another trainer, a world famous trainer is telling you, get your ass up and just move. Set a timer. Do what you have to do to remember. Okay, so I think we were on your number 3. What's your 4th ritual that you've developed in your wonderful 6 years of living?
6 years of living. I work, okay, so I make a living. So I have my clients. I work for, I have 4 clients more or less a day.
Yeah.
And
that's your 4th habit.
That's my work. Okay. Which is I teach tennis. I teach. I do fitness training. And it's my 4th habit. And then, you're going to ask me, what's my 5th one, right?
I want to know. You said 6, so tell us. Yeah.
Okay, no, my 5th, my.
And if you only had 5, that's okay.
No. Yeah. I have another. But I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell you.
Why?
Okay, because I have a habit that maybe it's not a good habit, but every day I have a beer.
I think I knew this.
Yeah, I have a beer.
But no, I'm glad you said this. I think this is so important.
Because after I've worked and I've done the thing, it's funny because then I listen to music. I take my bike, I have a beer, I put my favorite group is, for example, Kings of Leon.
Okay,
I love my Kings of Leon and this. And I have a electric bike and I go through the beach and I listen to my music and a beer and I just it puts me in a place that is just so amazing, so mystic. But one beer.
Yeah.
I have one beer.
Yeah.
And then I have my beer, then I have my lunch, then I have my nap, and then I have a great day.
I love that. I love that because one time before you had told me about your beer ritual.
Yeah.
And you know what that reminds me of? And one of my favorite teachers, Abraham Hicks, talks about this, because people ask, oh, should I be cutting out meat? Should I be cutting out coffee? And there's all this information about like, you'll read articles that say, coffee is amazing. Do it. You'll read another one. It's so acidic. And so what they talked about, and I think what you've conquered with that is it's how you do it.
Yeah.
So if a beer was like, I need it, and then you want more, that's a different energy.
Yeah.
Versus, this beer is amazing.
I've earned it. I have my treats. I live life. I mean, and then when I travel, I eat my bocadillos we had in Madrid, remember? With jamón serrano.
Oh, yes, that was delicious. Yes, I remember.
It's bread and I enjoy my life, but 80% of my time, I do the things that are hard to do.
Right. And to your credit, because I've seen you train and you're every single day. I think that when you do that, having a beer, even if you want to have a pizza every night, it would go fast. But also, I think more importantly, I really want our team to know that it's about the energy that you put behind it. So even with coffee, forget about, a beer, but a coffee, if you're drinking it because you're enjoying it, it's a ritual versus, I'm so tired, I need a coffee.
No.
It's diferente, no?
Yeah, diferente. And now, like I said, you're telling me about we started this conversation and you asked me what are my 5 or 6 things that put me in a mystic, in my high, so I can perform at my highest, okay? Because I think, I think we will have a responsibility in life. And the responsibility that we'll have is to give. You are happy when you give back. Mm-hmm. And to give, you have to give of overflow. First, you have to have it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And for me, I give my best when I'm happy, when I'm fulfilled, when I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do in life. And that's different from everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, what I have to do is not what you have to do. We all have a calling in life.
Yeah.
And when you're performing at your highest because you feel good, because you're excited, because you're energized. Yeah. So the things that I do every day, they try to put me in that highest self. So when I'm with people, they go, my God, Fernando, I know I'm impacting because I see it because it's the way I motivate people, and because
people want to be around you.
They want to be around you. The phone rings.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you know you've been successful? When people call you back. How do you know if you've been successful on a date? When you ask her out again and she says, yes, you've been successful. So in business, in everything in life, in work, when they call you back, means you've done a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, but you have to be a catalyst. You have to have something inside that you are a vehicle for energy, and you have to fill your tank every day.
Okay. I totally agree. And I think selfishness is the best selflessness, but not selfishness like, oh, you don't care about people, that you care about yourself so much that you can't give what you don't have.
No, you have to know yourself, okay? I mean, if I know that a noise in the morning or talking too much in the morning just bothers me, I try to have that space in the morning where it's quiet, that I have my coffee and I do my reading because I know that's good for me.
Yeah.
So for me, there are certain things at my age that is non-negotiable anymore. Sorry, I'm selfish.
I love it.
Human thinking is non-negotiable.
I need you to shut the F up
right.
anytime before 9 a.m. Okay?
I know probably most people that are listening to this, they're going, oh my God, yeah, right. I have 3 kids. I have this. Listen, silence, even if for 5 minutes, even if it's in the car, in a book, reading, listening to an audio, something is just good.
Yeah. It's almost like you're saying, hey, take ownership. And it's not the length of time. It's the fact that it's so important to you that you're going to make it happen, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 3 hours in the morning. Now, let me ask you, have you always been like this? Have you always had that? Or how did it come about?
I think I've always had it. It's funny. I mean, I come from a very traditional background in Spain. Where being fitness was something you did on the weekends. you know, and uh, um, but I always enjoy working out. I always, you know, how do you say it in here in the United States, an old
Come on.
soul.
Okay. Yes.
You
An old
know,
soul.
and
Yeah.
also I always been attracted to reading deep books, philosophy,
Yeah.
religion.
Me too.
You know, I'm very interested in because it resonates with me.
Yeah.
And there is something said: the truth shall set you free. And when you read truth, like uh, I don't know, the Bible, I don't know, or a philosopher, is so beautiful because they are dealing with eternal values. They are thinkers,
Yeah.
and there when you read certain things, it's like such a liberating
Yeah.
feeling that you go, oh my God, this is
Well,
so true.
yeah.
And
Like the truth in them resonates with the truth in you.
yeah, that's it.
And it is like such a
It's
high.
liberating, and it's so
Yeah.
liberating, and it's so happy. And it doesn't matter if you're in LA or if you're in Madrid or if you're in Colombia. It doesn't matter. I mean, people tell me, "Oh, Madrid." It doesn't matter where you live. You can be in heaven between your ears. Heaven or hell is the way you think. You know,
Yes.
it's heaven or hell. It's not a place. It's a state of being. Okay, and you have to control your emotions. You have to. That's why you are asking me about the rituals I do. When I do those rituals, they put me in an emotional state of happiness. Listen, it's a fight every day. I mean, just because I'm here, don't think for a second that I don't fight it every day. I mean, it's a war. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
but it's funny because the war is in here,
Oh.
is what you're. And I love what you said about, people talk about the, like, after we die, heaven and hell. I can't even think about that heaven and hell,
Yeah.
whether it's real or not. Don't get me started on my truth about that. However, I've said this to my parents, and when they talk about going to hell, and I'm like, you're living in hell right now,
Oh, yeah.
depending on how you garden your mind. The things that you think, the things that come out of your mouth because of what you're thinking. If you've been resentful for 30 years, that's hell. If you're angry all the time, that's hell.
Totally agree. Yeah.
I've
been in hell in Madrid, and in heaven in LA, in hell in LA, in heaven in Madrid. I've been in Mexico, and all these words that people say, I am in Paris, I am in Malibu. When I go to Spain, they say, oh, you're lucky. And they imagine Malibu, he's so happy. You can be in Malibu miserable.
Yeah.
Or you can be in a shit town, happy like shit.
I know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Everything that matters is in your mindset.
Matter what you take yourself, wherever you go, you take yourself, and that's it.
Yeah. That's why when, they talk about, like, if you're having a hard time or you just want to escape and you just want to leave, it's like wherever you go, there you are. So it's like you can think that moving to LA is going to make you so happy, but you're the one with the shitty thoughts. So the shitty thoughts are going to follow you.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And people, like you're saying, you're asking me about the rituals. So people, my friends tell me, what do you do when when you go to Madrid, right? Because I have a house, you've been in my house in Madrid, what do you think I do? The same rituals I do here, I do them there. Just because I am in Madrid, I am not going to do certain different.
Yeah.
Because what I do, it's my calling, and I try to take my rituals wherever I go.
Yeah. I love that. What's the most challenging thing you've ever been through in your life? What has knocked you down?
Knocked me down? Not that many things. No. I'm a small boy.
Not many things.
No, many things. No, I mean, my brother died when he was young. He was 11 months apart. My parents died. Moving to United States was very, very violent because I moved here when I was 17, 18. And, and the days where when I moved to United States, to Texas for the first time in my life, it's not like now that you have internet, WhatsApp, you could talk. I mean, a phone call was $100. So
it could be alienating.
It was very, it was horrible saying goodbye to my parents, and it was very hard. And then when I was 22 years old, I graduated from school in Texas, and my father stopped sending us money, my brother and me. And my first job was selling vacuum cleaners because we were broke in Dallas.
Yeah.
So I
You and your brother were here together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God. Yeah. It was very hard. And we were in Dallas, Texas, and it was hard. And it has been an organic process. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, that I am in LA and that I did fitness training, it has been completely, I would have never thought that I was going to be where I am,
Yeah.
that I would have done what I did.
Yeah.
But I trusted life. I trusted my heart.
Yeah.
I went in my life where my heart was telling me to do.
Yeah.
And I was young. I had something called wandering time. And it was an organic process.
Wondering time?
Wandering time means that there are days that you know, when you don't have, when I was 22, 23 years old, I didn't have responsibilities, right?
Right.
So I said, okay, what do I feel like doing today? So you go, okay, today I feel like going to this coffee place and somebody talks to you. And then you
the synchronicities of life. You let that happen.
When you let that happen, when you trust that life will take care of you. But when you are doing things with the right motivation and you trust something that is higher, because there is something higher.
Yeah.
There is something that is called your higher self. There is something that opens your heart like you wouldn't believe it. I believe that. And when you, and I think that the transition when you get older is called generosity. Okay? And my life changed when I start thinking not so much about myself, is how can I add value to others?
I have a confession because I think that I think it's huge when you, because part of my depression at the time was because I was so focused on me, such a narcissist, you know, like my life, my little thing.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I,
my problem.
And then I started volunteering, which was a huge, like, beautiful, you know, thing. I volunteered at a homeless shelter, but beyond that, and you know, I got out of the depression, but that was part of it. When I was teaching, when I first started teaching, you get so nervous and you're like, oh, how am I going to look? How do I look? Yeah. Are the moves good? Do people like it? Do people like me? Me. And I remember when I had the shift and I was like, Esmey, this is their class. They're coming for their workout. This isn't about you. This is about them. And I remember when I had that, I was like, oh, and then it all changed. And almost even like people can feel it. So more people started to come because they can feel that you're not all about you. And it's easy to do that in your 20s. It's so easy.
No, most people don't graduate. It's about me. Don't. It's
so in their 60s?
No, 60, they do it.
Oh, God.
No.
It's true.
No. It's about, you know, what can I do for other people? I mean, and that's huge, you know.
Yeah, I love that.
When you remember their names, when you're a good listener and you know what's going on in their mind, because most people think that people think like you. People don't think like you. They have their own agenda, their own problems, and to be able to meet them in their hurt, you have to meet people in their hurt because people are hurting. It's a facade. That people are smiling is bullshit. People are unhappy. Period. Because life, we already talked, life is suffering. Okay. Yeah. And rich people suffer because they're rich. Famous people, I've trained famous people. Okay. I've been with Tom Cruise. I've been with a lot of, I'm not going to name drop here, but I've been with VIP people training them. Guess what? They suffer because they're famous. You know, because it's endless. Because you know what? We are made with something called, I want different.
I want more.
More. What do you want? What you are made of? You're made something called, I want more, different. Yeah. So you suffer. We are like, we want what we don't have.
Yes. And I want to go in a little bit deeper on like more, not enough. And, you know, Abraham Hicks talks about like the mantra of the universe is more. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with more, but it always goes back to like, where is it coming from? Because you can want more because, oh my God, I'm human. I'm on planet Earth. Like how much can I expand? How many people can I reach? But that comes from a different energy than I want more because it's not enough. I'm not enough. So I need to do more. Yeah. And so you're asking for the same things, but they come from different places.
No.
Isn't that crazy?
No, it's crazy. You want more, you want different. And then we live in a society that they're selling you constantly new cars, new beer, new
bigger
clothes,
houses.
bigger houses. And then you are trapped. And like we were saying, you get trapped because you compare yourself with people that look that they're happy, that look that they have more. And guess what? Suddenly you're in hell. It's not a place. Suddenly you get in hell and then you're unhappy.
Say that again?
Then suddenly, because you compare yourself, because you want more, because you want what you cannot have, because you are broke, etc., suddenly you are in hell. And when you're in hell, it's hell, okay? So you overeat, you drink too much, you start doing behaviors that you think they're going to get you out of your own hell, but they get you deeper into hell.
Yeah. And I think I've definitely been in the depths of my hell. Have you ever reached that point?
I've been depressed. My mother was...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. I mean, I've been in hell. I've been depressed. I've been with no direction in life. I mean, I've had days that it's hard to wake up, that life doesn't have any meaning.
Yeah.
That is like saying, what am I doing?
Yeah. Does this mean anything?
What does it mean? What am I doing in LA away from my family? This is bullshit.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Self-defeating behavior. I've been heartbroken with women. Not anymore because I'm older.
Now you bring
Now it's different. Now I bring heart. It's different. No.
You don't do
that. What I'm saying is that I've gone through what most people have to go through.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked that is because I think that there's almost this idea, and I remember feeling this when I was in that deep darkness, that I felt like I felt so shameful because a lot of people don't talk about this. So it feels like you're the only one like moving through it. But in reality, I think almost everyone does. And, different people have different coping mechanisms. So it's different degrees. Right. So with that, you said earlier, like, people are suffering. And especially right now with, the year that we've had, the year and a half as a humanity, as a human family, I think I've read that the suicide rates have gone up 200%, which no one's talking about, mental health issues, loneliness, depression, anxiety. And so with that being said, I think that you're the perfect person to ask. If someone out there listening is just like, I'm done, like, it's hopeless, like I feel awful, what advice can you give them given the times that we're in?
Oh my God. Well, I believe, first of all, I believe that the pandemic that we are going through is like, not that I don't want to be hard, okay, saying it's an excuse. People suffered before the pandemic, the same thing. I mean, I understand that pandemic has made it worse.
What do you mean by that, though?
By that means that that the suffering, that some people take the pandemic as an excuse. A lot of people have taken the pandemic as an excuse. Oh, now I am able to suffer. I mean, I understand people have lost jobs. People have, I have a friend, my aunt died, she was 89 because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. It's, but death is something that is there. I mean,
it's part of the human experience.
Listen, we are going to die. I don't care how much you exercise. I know what you do. You are going to die. We are made of something called time. Yeah. Okay, we are made of time. Time is a matter of time that you die. Okay, so most people also live their lives thinking, escaping the fact that they are going to death. So the COVID has touched that nerve of called death.
The trigger.
The trigger. And people have gone bananas. Okay.
Oh, I love that you said that because I had that thought, and we obviously have to talk about this, carefully because it's not taken away from any of the pain that people have felt with lost loved ones. Yeah. But I think part of the reason we're suffering so much and pretty much people are going crazy is because death as a natural thing isn't something that we talk about. Is something that
happens
my God.
Somewhere else.
Well, you said, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. And I'm like, is it as terrible? Only because hear me out. It's part of life. So how could something that's so natural and part of life be so terrible? And I'm not taking away from the pain, but I'm saying like being born is part of life and dying is part of life. It's a natural cycle, but because we deny that we're going to die, we don't want to think about it. And our culture's like that. Some cultures don't do that. Some cultures talk about death just in regular life. But we don't. So now that the pandemic comes, we're suffering more because as a culture and a society, we've swept death under the rug like it's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, like old age, the same thing. Yeah, people don't want to get old, and and it's fear. And again, we come back to the same place that then you go to hell. When you start fearing death, you're in hell, and then you live in fear. and living in fear is horrible. You have to be courageous, and you have to life, like you're saying, shit is going to happen, and it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. That's why you have to have certain rituals every day. I keep coming back to the same thing. You have to exercise every day. You have to eat right every day, because when the shit happens, you are ready.
And the shit's gonna happen to all of us.
Me,
you know?
it happens every day. And I struggle every day. It's not, I have good days.
I can relate with you.
I mean, it's not like...
But you make good days. I think that's the difference. And even if you do have, or I guess I should speak for myself, even when kind of the lower day comes, they're not as bad as they could be or as they used to be, because you're kind of like a warrior with your equipment on, you're more prepared.
People tell me, because you know me, right? I'm outgoing. I look happy. I look energetic, and people tell me, "Oh, you look so happy. You're happy. What a happy guy you are." They tell me, right? Yeah. And I tell them, I am not happy. I don't believe in happiness. I mean, if I talk this way, if I read the books that I read, if I act the way I act, I am talking out of suffering.
Yes, it's the suffering that took you there.
That makes me do this thing. I suffer. People don't get it. I'm in pain as a human being. I don't live in my country. I've had many things, like I already told you. I suffer because I'm made of the same things that you are made. Okay? Yeah. I want more. I want different. It's the same thing. So I suffer. So I talk not out of happiness, because this happiness, if I am enthusiastic, I am working on it.
Yeah.
With my hammer.
And you have to.
You have to.
Yeah. That reminds me of, I sing a lot. And you can sing. Yeah. And I'm a terrible singer. Okay. But I sing. And I'll sing by myself. I'll sing in the shower. I'll sing when I work out. So if you ever see me at Gold.
Yeah, I've seen you sing.
I'm singing at Gold. It's like, it's this high. And I'm just like, I'm at a point where I just don't give a fuck. I didn't used to, but I was like, I don't care. Everyone has their headphones on, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. But I had a bike. It got stolen. But
oh, shit.
Yeah, well.
My bike is outside, man.
Yeah, no. You'll be fine. But anyway, I sing, and one of my neighbors was like, "Oh yeah, before I met you, I always saw you riding your bike and singing." She's like, "I thought, man, this girl's always happy." Yeah. And here's the thing, though, I sing because it brings me to another level.
Right. Like I'm doing my things, a ritual.
Well, two things. I sing when I am happy, so she's right about that. Yeah. But I also sing when I'm sad, because I know that singing is going to get me higher. So if you see me singing all the time, it's not because I'm happy all the time. Sometimes I am happy. But other times I'm suffering, and I am trying to get myself doing my part to elevate. So I know that you're a very, popular man. I have Fernando here with me. As I mentioned, guys, celebrity trainer from Spain. Fernando, as a last word, is there anything that you want to say? And I want to say on this concept of suffering, anyone that's out there and it feels they're just suffering, any last words to them from
me? All I can tell you guys is hang in there. It passes. Everything passes, the good and the bad. Just keep hitting one more ball, one more thing. I know sometimes it's a struggle, but do one more thing, because it goes away.
Yeah. Yeah. All things pass. Yeah.
All things pass.
Okay. Well, thank you, Fernando. It's been such a pleasure. You're amazing. I love your soul. I love your spirit.
Thank you so
I love
much.
You in your glory. I love you in the suffering. And I could feel it. And every time I've been around you, you're nothing but that radiates from me. And so I know anyone that knows you would agree with me. You're a very special soul. Thank you for being born.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got as much out of that as I did. If you have not hit the subscribe button, make sure to go back and hit subscribe and keep coming back. Team, we are going to the top, and I will see you there. I'm out.